Tmnt is a film that came out in 2007. It was written and directed by Kevin Monroe. And let's think about this. It's been 14 years since we had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. So to say that this film was long awaited and much anticipated is a bit of an understatement. Now, the premise of this movie is that we see that all four of the Turtles have pretty much retired, and they're all out doing their own things. Just when that's going on, you have this warlord guy from like 3,000 years ago who released this portal where 13 monsters are loose. So now in present day, the monsters are running amok, and so the Turtles have to come together and stop these monsters from wreaking havoc. Now, what I think of TMNT is, it's not bad. I kind of like it. First, when you see at the beginning that the Turtles have all disbanded and they're kind of doing their own thing. Like Leonardo, you see he's living in Central America and he's protecting the people there while they think he's some ghost in the jungle. And Donatello has this job where he's on this phone service line and he's taking people's phone calls. And that quick part with him where he's talking to random people and asking some of the randomest, weirdest questions, I thought was pretty funny. And Michelangelo, you see that he's taking gigs as a fake turtle for kids' birthday parties. But Raphael still has the bug. He still wants to go out there and stop some crime. He sleeps all day so everyone thinks he doesn't do anything, but actually he's become this vigilante called the Night Watcher, where he goes out at night and stops crime, and he has this armored powered suit with some cool weapons and this motorcycle, again proving that Raphael is the most badass turtle out of all of them.
I suppose you think the Night Watcher's some kind of hero. He's sitting around doing nothing while dirtbags run free.
And I like the idea of them being split up and doing their own things instead of having some problems. Not only because, for one, it shows that it has been a while since we've even seen a Turtles movie, so it makes sense that the plot would be about the fact that they haven't been together for a while. And I like the fact that they didn't really reboot the Turtles. It just seems like it's still in the same, maybe continuity, but it's also its own film. Now we see April O'Neil, who is voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar, and that was an interesting choice for her voice. I do think she does a good job, and I like that April at the beginning is seeking out Leonardo, trying to find him to maybe help get this group back together. And then you see Casey Jones, who is voiced by Chris Evans, which honestly I couldn't even tell it was Chris Evans. That's probably how good of a job he does. But Casey Jones, I like that he's dating April and he has this insecurity of whether or not he could be an adult and be grown up enough for her. And you get a lot more moments in here of him and Raphael talking, hanging out, being more close, because I'm pretty sure that's how it was in the comic books.
Did you see that up there? I've got a bad feeling.
As far as the villain goes, the warlord guy from 3,000 years ago that released these monsters, I guess technically he's not the villain, but that kind of makes me think that this movie doesn't even have that good of a villain, because you see that the real villains are some of his warriors that when years ago, when he accidentally opened the portal, they all turned into stone. So now in present day, they're angry, they're evil, they want revenge.
Every 3,000 years, the stars align, unleashing an army of monsters.
That can't be good.
But like I said, I wasn't too interested by them. And the 13 monsters, I thought they looked decent and they were viable threats for the Turtles. Maybe I missed something. Maybe they did explain why or where they were for all these years, but it just kind of seemed convenient that they just show up now.
Aren't you cute? You want a butt-kicking little fella? Hey!
Now, I guess it was decent to have the Foot Clan in there, even though I don't really find a point for them to be there without Shredder. And I think the most interesting aspect of this movie and story and plot is Raphael and Leonardo. When they go at it, they have this big, huge fight. Those two are always the ones that butt heads the most. They're always the ones who disagree the most, and they always had conflict. But this is at least the first time I saw them fight. And the fight scene between them was pretty intense and almost hard to watch these two brothers have. And that also brings me to the fact that this is a CGI animated film, the first Turtles movie that's not live action. And a part of me kind of doesn't like that because I did enjoy the live action aspect of the original film. But rewatching this, I will say that the CGI isn't that bad. I think it works for this film. Like some of the scenes when the turtles are running around and fighting, and when it's raining, and how the rain looks on their skin. I'm like, they paid a lot of attention to detail.
Destroy them.
But my biggest complaint, which isn't really about this film or this movie's fault, but it just pisses me off that when this movie was originally first coming out, I for sure thought, and I was hoping, that we would get special edition versions of the original movie's DVDs. But guess what? We didn't get them. I don't understand why, especially the first one. This movie made so much money, it's a classic. I don't know anyone who doesn't like this movie. Like, why haven't they re-released these DVDs? Special features, with some deleted scenes, with some commentary, which again, I know isn't this movie's fault, but it just kind of annoys me because when I look at here, this movie has commentary, this movie has special features, deleted scenes, and it's an animated movie. So TMNT, I don't think it's a perfect film. I think the villain plot is a little meh, but I do like the character moments with the turtles. I love the relationship between Raphael and Leonardo, the best part about the film. The voice acting, I think, is pretty decent. The fact that they also got Patrick Stewart and Lawrence Fishburne in this was really impressive. The action wasn't bad, and the CGI effects is a whole hell of a lot better than I thought it would be. So TMNT, not a bad film. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this movie, and as always, thanks for watching, like, and subscribe. Later!
Did anyone get the license plate of that thing that hit us last night? It looked like your mom, dude!
Yeah, that would make her your mom too, doofus.